What is good, YouTube? Happy New Year's, guys, and hopefully you guys are having a good day with your family, your friends. Even though we in COVID, hopefully you guys can celebrate and bring it in the right year. It's a blessing to make it to another year, and I'm glad to give y'all another video for another day. And on top of that, bringing in New Year's with a fun one, we're gonna talk about Jerami Grant, a guy that is currently averaging 23 points, about 6 rebounds and a couple assists per game. And he was a guy that a lot of people question his decision. Why not stay in Denver? They paying you the same amount of money, plus they have a better team. Plus you already know that you fit with that team and you have a particular role. And he said, you know what? I'm going to go to Detroit. I want to get more opportunities. I want to have more of a say of what goes on. And I'm already one of the better perimeter defenders when healthy. Obviously, his season is going to be rocky because Jeremy Grant isn't a guy that can literally go and create his own shot consistently at this point in his career. The guy has the athleticism and the mobility to get up and down the court and get in transition. He also has the ability to knock down spot up and corner threes. But as the season goes on, I think that's where the numbers drop a little bit because you're going to be more prepared for the team. You're going to be able to scout for the team. And if he doesn't make adjustments and really enhance his game as the season goes on, he's just going to be exposed as a guy that is just an opportune scorer. And I don't know if that's going to happen throughout the whole length of this contract, as it is not a 5-year contract or anything like that. But I was one of the people that said I don't look at Jeremy Grant as a superstar. I don't see him as being the best player on the team. And so far, he has looked pretty decent. He looks like Jeremy Grant in a bubble. He's doing everything that he did then. The only problem is he just don't have the offensive talent around him that he had in Denver. And I didn't believe he could be a 20-point scorer for Denver. But at the same time, they have so much talent that they don't need him to be like Detroit does. And when you're a guy that a lot of people don't pay attention to, you get those smart, easy baskets because you're always the guy that's benefiting from other guys drawing attention away from you. And that's what he made his calling card. Even at OKC, you look at how he played in OKC, he got a lot of those offensive rebounds, a lot of those transition, a lot of those threes, and just cutting to the basket. Next thing you know, this guy is a solid contributor. Denver said, you know what, we willing to take a gamble on him because he's exactly what we need. A guy that can guard the Kawhis and the KDs and the LeBrons one-on-one, and with some assistance, he can contain them to a certain ability because we know those guys are unstoppable and unguardable, but you want to make it tough and you want them to take shots that they don't particularly want to take, and you want them to think a little bit so they make mistakes or turn the ball over. And Grant is a good guy for that particular role, and that's how he got to Detroit because they needed him to do a little bit more because a lot of people was focusing on Jamal Murray and Jokic, and they was playing fantastic in the bubble, and Jeremy Grant was a benefit of that. A lot of that, they knew they had to run him off the line, and he was hitting floaters, and he was getting dunks, he was getting to the free throw line, and if they didn't do that, he was hitting the three or just getting out in transition and having fun. And now you have a situation where he's making a living off that now in Detroit. And the next step to me would just be physically. Can he literally be able to do more when it comes to being able to score in a variety of ways? Because that's the next step. And it's not necessarily impossible because even in the bubble and now he shows the ability to be able to get to the paint and knock down some tough shots from time to time. But if you want to be at that level, you have to do it consistently, and that means every night. And every time you get a possession, you have to make something happen. And I just don't see that with Grant. And that's the same problem I had with OG and Anunoby. If he grows and develops to an offensive player, it takes growing pains and struggles to pick what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, and what's a great shot, and what you should pass and what you shouldn't pass. But as the team gets worse, which he went to Detroit and they significantly worse than Denver, we have a situation where he actually has stayed pretty efficient. He had a bad shoot night tonight against the Celtics, which is another problem because once they have wings, because he's in the East, that can guard him and contain him and force him to think or make decisions, that's when Jeremy Grant offensive game craters. And that's going to be the biggest question as the season goes on. Like I said in the beginning, can he create shots? Can he create shots for other players? And if he can't do that, then he's just going to be a glorified 3-and-D guy. This guy is getting paid $19 million a year, which isn't as terrible because he is a solid rebounder and he is pretty good at what he does. But Detroit need him to be more than that, and they gave him the opportunity to be more than that, and he just not that guy. He just not. But you can be an all-star putting up 22-6. The problem that hurts Grant is that he went to the Pistons. A lot of teams not going to look at it like, okay, putting up 26. We remember Bradley Beal averaged 30 and was not an All-NBA player or All-Star. Trae Young averaged 29 and a couple assists, and he wasn't even an All-NBA player either. That's how tough it is, to crack those accomplishments and those accolades. And Grant, as I am a fan of his, and I do like the fact that he had confidence and he really wanted to take a gamble to prove that he is, better than just being a role player. Which 3-and-D is a specific role on both sides of the court, so he is categorized as a role player. But to me, going to Detroit wasn't a good look unless, they make a trade or they get a guy that he can complement and go down that pecking order. Now, if you're paying him $19 million to do what he's good at, I didn't have a problem with that. But if you're asking him to do a little bit more, that's when you see the games like Boston and the games that we've seen in the bubble where Grant is just not capable of that at this point. Now, since he is on a couple more years on his contract, he probably can get a little mid-range stop and pop or even a good move to get to the paint consistently or continue to feed off his teammates. But once you lose that much talent and now you have more attention, you get scouted and game plan for, and people can take you out of your element or people know what you're going to do. And it's easier because you don't have the talent to punish um, the defense around you because you don't have the weapons that you have in Denver. So this is something that we're going to have to take the long-term mentality on. Can he develop? Will the failure motivate him to be better? And can he get over that hump? Because I said he's going to put up numbers because he's going to get the opportunity. He's going to get chances. So we can't just look at it as, well, he averaging 20. He was doing that in the bubble. The difference was they was in the Western Conference Finals, and the Detroit Pistons are 1-4. So I'm not going to no, poo-poo on him right now. He's having a solid season to start, but it's just something that I want my subscribers to keep a watch out on is the progress of Jerami Grant, and really can he get to be that two-way player that can get you 25 and 8 and get you a couple steals and a couple blocks will give you 2 to 3 assists, or will this be the Jerami Grant that he has gotten better? He got a bigger role in Denver, and now he's getting an even bigger role in Detroit. Will he fail or will he succeed? I'm rooting for him to succeed, but at the same time, he just don't have the talent at this current point to where he can get those rough games while also getting the easy games because they just don't have enough around him to be able to do that at this point. So I'm going to keep an eye on Jerami Grant. He is far away from being an all-star caliber player, but he is a guy that I would like on my team, and he is a guy that can even camouflage from time to time as a star. The question is just, can he be more than that? And that's what Detroit felt like he can. And they say, we're going to bring you in. We're going to pay you the money. We're going to give you the opportunity. And he hasn't really shown too much improvement, in my personal opinion. But at the same time, it is only 5 games. So let's keep an eye on this guy. Can he be an all-star? Can he be a Jimmy, a Paul George? They come in as defenders and they develop and work their way up to being all-star to top 10 caliber players. But those guys have well-rounded games now with the passing, the rebounding, the scoring, the three-point shooting, and the shot creation ability. Will Grant be able to do it? Another problem with Grant is that he's already 26. And the biggest problem with him being 26 is that he actually turns 27 this year in 2 months. So the clock is already ticking on him for him to be able to turn into that guy as your athletic prime start kicking in. And if he can't get it right and he don't get enough help, which we have to see what happens with that in the future, he might just have been better off staying in Denver because at least he had a chance to be on a contender and win a title, and he had a chance to have his job easier. He just had to become, the Jerami Grant that they need him to be, but it'd been a lot better with the talent that they had around him, and he complemented that talent, and he knew the system, and he knew the team. But also, it is always that thing, that people dream of, being the guy that's taking the shots, being the guy that's on the, the logos and on the pictures and being advertised and on the commercials. But, that guy takes a lot of work, and that guy had a lot of responsibility. And Grant, we'll see, will he be granted his wish, and will he be successful at it? So I'm not saying he won't do it. I'm not saying he will do it. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying I'm going to be observing him for the next 2 years, as that will be the last this season and the next two after that. And we'll see, was it worth it? Or we'll see, was it just, the money was the same. So you can't say it wasn't worth it, because Denver's paying him the same years and the same money. But we'll see if he takes advantage of his opportunity and becomes something that he hoped and dreamed to be. And that's one thing we got to keep an eye on. Other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that checks out. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook. Change the color of the hat, change the color of the shirt, customize it the way you want it to be. Message me so I can get shipped out to you. You can also buy merchandise on my spread shirt that will also be in the description, comment section below. If you want to support the channel a different way, you can also like and share. Liking and sharing allows this channel to be reached and seen by more people, so I appreciate the people that want to do that. Also, if you're new to the channel, I upload every day. So you love basketball videos, whether it's breakdowns of players, legends, rookies. Also, summer league coverage, summer league breakdowns, top 10 lists, free agency, playoff predictions, and season previews, and even discussions about the hottest topics or discussions in general. This is the channel for you, and I have over 2,000 videos to prove it. At the end of the day, comment. I love hearing what you guys say and what you guys think. Is Grant that guy? Can he be that guy? Or he not going to be that guy? Whatever you feel about Jerami Grant and the Detroit Pistons, let me know. Other than that, Happy New Year. Do y'all thing. Enjoy y'all day. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone.